Was dropping out and moving to Marbella a mistake? In this video, I'm going to talk about 3 different things. 1, my experience so far moving out to Marbella. 2, what I would do differently if I were to do it again, or if I've never done it, and if I think it was the right move for me, or if I should have stayed in college. If you don't know who I am, my name is Val, and I run 2 businesses right now. One of them is essentially an agency, and the other one is a coaching business. Within the coaching business, I teach people how to start appointment setting and high-ticket sales, how to make their first $1,000 online, and get to a point where they're making thousands per month remotely. And the second business is running sales teams, specifically appointment setting teams, placing setters, training setters, making sure they're actually performing and maintaining them for big businesses like coaching businesses or whatever it may be. I essentially run their back end, make sure their team performs so they can get calls booked and eventually close and generate revenue. I've accounted for over $1 million in sales generated so far, and I've not really been in this space for too long. I've only been here for 4 days, and since moving here, the goal was essentially to have more exposure to money and also see kind of like a different aspect of life, see people making money. I come from a small town in Ireland where there is not a lot of wealth. There is not many people doing online money there. So when you come to a place like this, it is astonishing to see the amount of wealth. When you turn around and you see all these insane cars, or you see all these wealthy individuals, and then you realize your standards for yourself are extremely low. So the reason I came here was to kind of get established and see more wealth and see more money and essentially network with these, if you want to say, high net worth individuals, so I can grow myself and grow my performance and also develop, like I said, my own standards. Now, since joining, we haven't really done too much. If you know who I've moved with 2 friends of mine. One is a student and one of them is a neighbor. They both do online money. Student's making about 6.5, 7K per month right now with appointment setting, and the other individual is doing content creation, who I actually just hired to be my creative director. So if you're watching this video, you've clicked on the thumbnail, maybe the lighting isn't too great, I'm not too sure, but he's actually my creative director, so he's editing it, he's clipping it, he's doing the thumbnails and all that, which is quite funny because we live together. But essentially, since moving, the goal was just kind of to get more exposure to money and see all this wealth and figure out, okay, how do I actually grow as an individual? If you know much about my story, if you don't, you can go and watch my first video I've ever posted, which was just essentially breaking down my experience, what got me into sales, how I got burnt out for a while and thought business wasn't for me, and how I came back. You can go watch that if you want. But if you do know a little bit about me, you kind of know I'm kind of running into businesses now, so I want to grow them, and I want to get out of this little rabbit hole I was in my small town where I was in college. And I did enjoy it, and I did have friends in college, but I didn't know if it was the right thing for me. It was very easy for my growth to get capped, especially because I had to study or do exams or be around these individuals where priority was college and getting high grades. So when you're in that atmosphere and you want to grow a business, it's very difficult to, because maybe not for you, but for me, I try to be competitive. So when I see other people getting good grades, I want to match that. I'm going to try perform harder there. And I get caught in an endless cycle where I'm trying to get good grades and I'm trying to perform online and I can't. And if you know much about my history, you also know I went solo traveling for a while. I traveled to Europe for a couple months straight, which is funny because at the start of last year I went to all these different countries, and now I've actually moved out to a different country started this year. If you know much about last year, you know I went solo traveling, and I've probably mentioned that the peak physique I was ever in was while solo traveling, because the only thing I could focus on was just personal growth. And I believe the same will apply here. Well, all I can really do is focus on my own growth, and that is the goal. For example, yesterday I made about 1.2K. I signed a new management client. I gave him a discount for the first month. It's a 1.5K per month deal on top of a 30% of his low ticket, which I'm going to pay out half of that to the setter who I placed, and then 20% of the high ticket, who I'm also going to give the setter 5% on that and also pay them $300 per month. So essentially the setter has an opportunity to make a lot of money. We're launching this February 1st. It won't be too crazy. I know he's hit 10K per month before. If you know much about me, my other management client makes me about 5K per month right now, and this client now is paying me 1K this month, and then from now on it's going to be 1.5K per month. If we decide to work together for longer term, we're going to see how this month goes, but also just commissions on what he makes, of course. So I'm not too sure how that will go. I've never had problems with my own actual job, but it's a matter of, is his marketing good enough? Because I can manage the leads and I get the leads set and I can make sure everything there is efficient. I've got some stuff set up. I'm building this framework script as we speak. I'm doing all these things, but how good is his marketing so we can actually make sure there's enough leads for us to manage? That management client's going to be cool. We're at about 6.5K for the month so far. We have another 2,000 I think coming in, so this month will be close to about a 8.5, and then I have a sales call today. Hopefully we get a PIF, which will be cool, but 8.5 this month or so, and then we just got to clutch up and get to that 10, 12, 15. It'll be a very good month. Literally the last few days since coming here. We arrived on the 10th. It's now the 14th. we've literally just been eating groceries, buying groceries, eating them, and just working. It's not been anything crazy. We went to a gym, we paid about $200 to get there for 2 months, which is absurd. But it's all just been work, content work. So I posted a video on my personal channel, started posting TikToks, and now I'm just here making this video, updating you guys. And you can see this very scenic background of all these other apartments. But I do want to do some day in the lives on like weekly updates and vlogs and all that stuff. This is just like a quick catch-up video on how things have been going, my experience so far in Marbella, which has been amazing, and what I would have done differently. I don't think I would have done anything differently, to be honest, because I did like the aspect of making friends in college and getting to network with people in college, meeting them, you know, getting very, very close, and then deciding it was the right thing for me. I think if I did it too soon, I wouldn't have thought the timing would have been right, and I think if I did it later on, the timing would have also been wrong, because I would have capped my growth. Last month, you know, I did pretty well. The month before that was okay. So last month was pretty good, and I was like, okay, I'm getting some momentum. I need to move out. I need to get away from these distractions. I need to get away from family and just go all in. And I did exactly that. Do I regret moving? No. I've been here for 4 days and I do not regret moving. I'll probably stay here for a few more months. It's been nothing but amazing, like I said, and I'm very excited to see what happens. But if you're watching this and you've come this far, leave a like, subscribe, and keep up with the journey and watch more about this content. And like I said, if you want to learn more about what I do and everything in detail, you can watch the first video I posted, and you can go through other videos. Last month was pretty good. I talk a bit about that in the other videos, and these videos have never had structure, so I'm kind of trying to bring that in. Hopefully you enjoyed. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.